Hey y'all, I'm back here. I guess this will be part two of the leather talk for today. Ended up getting a text message and it ended the video just so it could read me the text message in my earbuds here. So a lot of, and then I just kept on talking. I didn't realize it wasn't recording. So a lot of what I just said, I'll re-say so that you can get it. But I was showing you a little bit of this leather here on this wallet, how I'm doing it. And so I finished up this stitch in here, which is an inside pocket. I went ahead and used the tape to go ahead and tape it down just so it doesn't move or anything. If you don't use double-sided tape, try it out. You'll probably like it. I end up loving it. Wish I'd have came across it years ago. But once I get this piece set in, it'll look like that on there. So I'm using kind of this blue-gray leather. And I've had it for about 10 years and I can't remember what kind of leather it is, to be honest with you. So I just know that it will stain, it will show some scratches and stuff, which isn't a big deal for me, but it's just something you gotta let your customers know. So what I'll do is I'll probably take my finger with some mink oil and I'll rub mink oil in here, and that gives it a really good look, and it keeps it, I don't know if I'd say it finishes it, but it puts a nice finish to it anyways. Whereas your tan coat, you can use tan coat too, but tan coat, I don't know, just it's different on this kind of leather. So just something to keep in mind. Do test strips. If you're trying something different with a piece of leather, get you a little piece of leather and test it on there first. That way you're not testing it for the first time on the project that you're working on. And that's key right there. And one thing is the edges of this leather doesn't finish up all that nice. So you got to have a good clean cut with this leather to get a good edge on it. But the outside of the wallet is this gray, kind of grayish blue leather too. And so I'll do the same thing for that. I lined it with pigskin. It's got pigskin on the inside. Pigskin's a great liner, nice thin, and not real expensive, although the price of leather has gone up crazy within 10 years. When I had gotten back into leather work not too long ago, I went to go buy some leather. I went to the leather shop and looked at it, and I was blown away with the prices on how much leather had gone up. But that's how it'll look on the inside. There'll be another one over here. It'll fold over. And one thing I still got to do is make the clasp for it. So I'll show you a little bit. This is one that I did a while back, probably 9-10 years ago. And I made this for my mom. And so I got to make that clasp for it here. So just cut the leather. I'm kind of deciding on what color scheme I want to do for that. But she brought this to me. She told me that her dog had gotten to it. You can see that the edge of it's bitten off there. The whole inside is torn. And she's like, well, you can probably repair that, right? And I said, well, let me take a look at it and see how bad it is, and I can let you know. And then I got to looking at it. There's just no repairing this thing. So you can see the pattern of that. Kind of a neat little pattern. But I ended up starting on making her a new one, and this is it right here. So it'll fold this way, and that's that. I went with a little different color scheme on this one, but I used the medium brown antique on it, so it gave it a good look. And then this punch here is it's called the North Star punch. It's a brass stamp, and they sell it at Tandy at 20 bucks, one of their brass stamps. But it looks really nice. It puts a good look on there. And so this is still, this is all dry now, so what I'll do is I'll put the finishing coat on that. I tape my projects, so when I'm doing the stamping, sometimes when you got a little thinner leather, when you're stamping or you're carving and you're doing your carvings in there, it'll want to stretch that leather out. So I just put the blue painter's tape back there, and it helps it from stretching so much. So I'll take all that off, I'll line this with pigskin too, and then I'll go from there. I'm still kind of trying to decide what I want to do for the interior on this one. I'll probably go with a black interior, just because I have an excess of that leather and stuff. But I think you guys got the belt and the knife sheath in there. Not sure when that video cut off. I just ended up realizing that it cut off. So just kind of tinkering on some projects right now, getting some steps done on them, and then waiting on the kiddos to come back. Kids are at their grandma's, and she lives about an hour away, so they've been gone for a couple days. But I'll bring you guys down. There's Blue Boy. Say hi, Blue. Hey, buddy. Good dog. Alright, got your slobber on me. Look at you, big boy. Alright, so let's see, you'll see that. I'll just take you along for this. I'll go ahead and I'm going to seat this down. And what I'll do is, since this leather doesn't edge real well, you gotta have some clean cuts. So I'll just clean this up a hair here. Yeah, that better. Then, like I said, I use the double-sided tape. And if you do use the double-sided tape, when I first started using it, I almost didn't like it because it would, when I was stitching, it would leave my needles really tacky. And I did not like that at all. It was just gumming up my needles. I'd have to stop and clean it off, you know, with some alcohol to get it clean. And one thing I figured out, that is, if you put a little, I just use neat's foot oil, but if you put a little of that neat's foot oil on your needle, and then start doing your sewing, that makes a big difference. So it helps it come out clean instead of getting so gummed up from the liner, or from the double-sided tape. Stick that down, make sure that's seated well. But yeah, the double-sided tape is really nice because you don't have, now I still do use contact cement for some things, but sometimes contact cement's just messy, and you gotta really be careful with your project, because I've gotten it on the front before and had to start all over. Sometimes you can let it dry. If you do that, one thing you can do, like if it's a veg tan, you can let it dry and then go ahead and kind of rub it off a little bit. Oh, there went Samson. I don't know if y'all seen him. A little pup. My brother-in-law's dog. He's a good dog. He's a little pit bull too, just like Blue Boy. Alright, so there's that. Got the tape on there, so now these two are almost, both sides are almost at the same point. And one thing I'll do now is I'll just use my my hole chisel here, and I think I used my medium one, so I'll grab that. Excuse me for 1 second. Got them all labeled out here. I'll just grab them all and bring them. been thinking about getting some new stitching chisels. These are ones that I got from a guy who had, he was actually getting out of the leather business as well. One thing, I'll move you guys just a hair here, bear with me. One thing that's been a real blessing is meeting folks that do leather, and let's say they are wanting to get out of it. Well, I had that guy in particular, he gave me all of his tools, he gave me all of his leather for free, and I was just starting out then, and that was a big help, because if you know anything about leather tools, you know how much you can spend on them. So that is something to keep in mind. Maybe look around on the Facebook Marketplace, or even Craigslist or something. You can try Craigslist and try that out, and you might find a good deal. You might find somebody who's selling them for cheap, or selling them for a better price here. You have to excuse me, I think I'm trying to find the right size that I used. In a couple days since I worked on that one, I've been working on other projects, and I just don't remember what size I used here. Looks like that's what I used for my space in there. That's the large. Let's see. Yeah, I did use the large. And this one's really nice. This is a craft tool one. It comes with different sizes. You screw them in, and it comes with, I don't know the millimeter on them. The ones that you buy now, they're marked with the millimeters on them, so you can tell. But this one, the guy just put small, medium, and large on it. So that's how I gauge it: small, medium, or large. But we'll go ahead and get this lined up. We'll chisel it out. And I've already marked all my lines on here. So I know right where I'm going. How far down did I go on that one? Okay, so right there. Alright. Now I'll get my blue thread out, and I'll stitch that up, coming right along. I actually was able to pick up a workbench today that someone was tossing out on the curb, and it's a good sturdy workbench, although I don't think I'll really be able to use it as of right now, because it's a little big to get in through our door, and we really don't have the space. But we are looking at moving here, hopefully within the summer, before next winter. And I was thinking kind of ahead on that one. It's a good sturdy workbench, and if I gotta replace anything on it, the structure's already there. All I gotta do is take the wood off, replace with another piece of wood. So, but it's a good sized workbench. Has about 3 drawers on the front there. I'd be able to put my tools in there and stuff, and that'll be good. That's something I'm thinking about, because when we move, I'm not wanting to work in the living room, taking up our dining room table. I'm sure my wife doesn't want that either. But praise the Lord, she's being real patient with me taking up the dining room here. She's taken some interest in it too, and kind of wanting to learn a little bit about leatherworking, so she can possibly help me move along with some projects a little later on down the road. Now she's at class right now. She's taking a class to get her CDL. And so she's doing that. She's in her second week of class. And she's doing really well. Day 2, they had her out driving on the road, on the interstate. Now, some of the, I may not have got enough thread here. Now, some of the folks that are in the class, they have never driven, and they were taking them out on day 2. Whereas she's had practice because her job lets her do what's called shagging. And within the parking lot, what she does is she moves the trailers around. And so she's been able to get some practice driving, not on the road, but in the parking lot. So it's a real blessing. And then her job's offering to pay for the class for her to take the classes to get her CDL. And if any of y'all have ever looked into that, you know that CDL classes can be about $6,000. So it's really nice that an employer would offer to pay that so that you can learn to drive and everything. And I'm working part-time at my kitchen job right now. And leather work. Oh, my needle done came out here. Rethread that real quick. But the Lord's provided ample opportunity for me to get started back into this leather work, which I am so happy about. I'm so thankful. I'm gonna have just barely enough thread here. That is cutting it close. Have y'all ever ran out of thread before on a project? I have done that. Now granted, when you're doing the saddle stitching, it's a little easier if that does happen, because you can cut it, singe it off, and then you can just start back in. But if you're doing like a running stitch, it's a little harder then. And I usually don't like to cut myself this close on thread, but it worked out perfect. So what I did with this one, I finished it on the back side, both of them on the back side. So I just pull that tight. I'll cut it, and I'll singe it off with my liner here. You know, some people use their, I don't know what to call it. I call it a little singer, you know, it just singes the thread down. A little battery operated thing, which would be nice, come in handy. But I just use a little lighter. You got to be kind of careful because you put, you can actually put a little burn mark on the leather if you're not careful. And that can be kind of hard to work around. Sometimes, if it's bad enough, sometimes you gotta just start over on that piece and get it done. But I'll go ahead, I'll move you down just a sec, pardon the hand there. And I'll mark for this stitch line here. Done. These wing dividers are great. I had a much smaller pair that I got from one of the guys going out of business, and he ended up upgrading to a larger pair, which really is a lot nicer. They're smooth and they work nice. You should just go on like that, get that done. And actually, when I got these, they were so oiled up in here just to keep them from rusting. I had to take a paper towel to it and end up doing it like that. Now I will decide where I want to start here. I might, no, that's a large one. I might use my medium one here, because I don't want to end up, one thing about when you're doing chiseling, you don't want to end up too close to an edge, because when you're stitching, you can actually end up going through, and it causes the edge to lift up a little bit on there. So just something to keep in mind as you're going about doing that. Now, where's all my medium ones at? I just got this. Oh, they're right there. Alright. Check this out, make sure it lines up nice. And it does. Thank y'all for tuning in and kind of watching here. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and subscribing. Like I said, I'm just a small-time leather worker who loves the craft and able to provide a service for other people that they enjoy handmade products and stuff. And there's so often anymore, you can just, someone can go to Walmart, they can get a wallet for 10, 15, 20 bucks, you know, and be happy with it, but it's not going to last you very long at all. Whereas you get you a handmade wallet, and you really do have a lifetime item there that you're not going to be wearing out. And if threads happen to, say this thread ended up coming out or ripping or something, you just, that person, whoever owns it then, can singe that down and it's good to go. Or they can send it to me and I can restitch it. But you're not going to get that with a Walmart product for sure. Once your threads and stuff start ripping on a Walmart product, you're just pretty much, you're out and getting a new one at that point, because they're not going to do anything to do you up. Now let's see here. Our table's a bit of a mess right now. So I'm looking for my 2-prong chisel in the medium. And of course, I'm not finding it. But it is around here somewhere. But I reckon we're about at 23 minutes on this one. I reckon we'll just end the video here. And I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. If this was helpful to you, if you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. And y'all remember that you can do leather work, okay? You don't have to be perfect at leather work in order to do it. The more you do it, the better you will get. So just keep on practicing. Enjoy the trade. It's something to learn that you can pass on down to your children, and they can enjoy it, and then that's something you guys can do together. So y'all just keep up with how life's going for you. I hope it's going well, and thank you guys for tuning in. God bless.